always pretty exciting when you get a new box in the mail. So I'm expecting 2 shipments this week. So this is my first one from the Woolery. It's the time of the year where I do most of my dyeing of wool and other fibers. So I got quite an interesting mix of some items in here. So we're going to take a look. The thing about the Woolery is the shipping is really expensive. Unless you spend like $150, then it's free. So it's kind of like you end up, it would have been $22 for my $100 order, or I just ordered 50 bucks more and got free shipping. So that's what I ended up doing. They always do such a nice job packing. I like to save all of this extra packing for when I ship. So as I said, it's my favorite time of the year where we get to dye wool. I bought 2 different types. I got reactive and acid wool. Acid dye for the wools, and then the reactive for my bamboo, cotton, and other fibers. So, and we're taking a look, and I got some other things too. So in here, I needed some new parts for my little Ashford e-spinner. So I got a new little brake band. It hasn't worn out yet, but it's always good to have the extra little springs. They warp over time. So it's always good to have an extra one of those. And then, so my little fly hooks. I actually use my e-spinner so much that I've kind of cut some grooves, and I have to rotate it around, so it's time for some new flyer hooks there. Just standard, nothing exciting parts. And then here's my first sets of dye. So I got some Cushing's dye. I love this dye. I absolutely hate its packaging. It's just in these little old-timey envelopes and then a tiny Ziploc bag. As I said, I love their dye. I just wish it was in a little container. So I guess I could buy some little glass containers and then pour it in, but so my first color is Nugget Gold. So this is my favorite color that they make. It's such a beautiful goldish yellow. I think I have some right here. There we go. So this is what color it comes out as, and it's really a beautiful, like, video game gold coin color, and it has like lots of depth, so we're lighters and darks. It's a beautiful, beautiful dye. So I used up most of it, and I got some more. In these little packs, a little goes a long way. So this will dye like a few pounds. And my other color is I got some Nile green. It's a really soft, soft green. And looking at, I have actually my little chart right here. So you can kind of get a general idea of what you're going to get if you just get a little color chart. So I have that, and I refer to that. Okay. I got some wool wash. So when I finish spinning, I like to wash and set. This one's jasmine scent. It starts off really strong, but then once you wash and rinse, it's very, very mild and not strong at all. I also have some non-scented, so I'll do like a little mix of each. But it's always good to have plenty of wool wash on hand. And as I said, I had to order a couple extra things to get to the $150 mark. And so thank you, Amanda, for packaging my order. And there's stuff that's just my general order information. And let's get to the dye. So as I said, it's a mix. What is this? Oh, this is my soda ash for the reactive dyes. So for the cotton and other cellulose fibers. My bamboo mostly. So that's what that is. I like that it's not in a bag, it's in a nice refillable container, because I have some loose soda ash, so I'll be able to refill this. So that's really nice that this is reusable. And actually, I do need that order list. What do we got? Because I bought a new brand. Well, it's not a new brand, but it's a brand I haven't used in a long time, since the Pro MX reactive dyes and the Pro Wash Fast acid dyes. We used a ton of these in college. We had like a big dye studio, and this was the brands that we had in there, because I think they were able to buy them for pretty cheap. So our first one is Pink Sand. So this is an acid dye. I got, this is a reactive dye, Soft Orange. A terracotta. I like that they put them in little baggies. That's awesome. That wasn't like it last time. So here we have a cantaloupe and an acid dye. One thing I like to do is I like to use many different brands of dye to keep my work palette wide and varied, because a lot of times you can kind of tell who uses what. If they mainly use one product, like, oh, this person mostly uses MX, this person uses Country Classic, this person just uses Cushing. I use everything for the widest possible palette of fats, rollags, and just wool in general. And it's also, you can mix and match, kind of adjust the shades a bit. This one is Aqua, a reactive dye. And I have a bunch of other dyes downstairs. This was just kind of like building a palette from this brand. So then we have Rose Pink. Let's see, Bright Green. And the one thing about the MX, I couldn't find a really nice clear color chart of their dyes, so I kind of had to guess it. So I'll do a bunch of little test dyes with my Firestar nylon fiber, because it dyes so fast, it dries quick. It's a good testing fiber to kind of get a general idea of the brightness of the dye and how it reacts. A fuchsia. And let's see, basic blue, reactive dye. Amethyst, so a nice purple. A berry, so a reddish purple. A buttercream, so a soft yellowish white. It's always hard to tell with the powder, but it should be a little bit more creamier in color. A spearmint. A forest green, so a nice forest green. That's a reactive dye. A turquoise, a reactive dye. And salmon, so this is an acid dye. I always like the salmon's kind of like an orangish pinkish color. Sometimes they're strong, sometimes they're pretty faded, just like the salmon you see at the store. Oh, here we have a bubble gum, so this should be a really nice bright pink. It's a reactive dye, so I'll make a really cool some bamboo roving. And then there's 2 in 1 here. And sky blue acid dye with 2 sky blues. I ordered 2 sky blues. Yep, I did. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. So that's what I got from this box. I'm expecting a really big wool order coming in, lots of different types of wools that I'll be going over. But as I said, my general plan is I'm going to test out the acid dyes with some Firestar nylon, so add it to my palette, figure out what I'm missing, and then I'm going to do a ton of reactive dye with some bamboo. I have a ton of bamboo coming in, spoilers, that I wanted to add because I really like the texture that bamboo gives to yarns, so we're going to be doing a lot of that. So I hope to see you guys next time. As I said, just a quick little box opening of some dyes that I'm going to be using in some upcoming videos. So I'll see you guys next time, and thank you.